Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the line as he does every week, fresh off a trip to England. Friends, it's Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com. What's going on, dude?
Still getting back to the usual schedule, the usual time zone, but how are you doing?
Good. What's the time? It's like 6 hours, right? 5 or 6 hours?
5.
5?
Yeah,
okay.
5.
All right. And I don't know if we can't say what you did just yet, right?
No, we can't.
Okay.
I can say, I can't talk about the official reason I went over, but the other reasons I was over there, I got to take a look at some James Bond stuff, including I finally visited Duke's Bar in London.
Oh, cool.
Which is, I highly recommend it. I'm going to write more about it, but they have a 2-martini limit. You can order other drinks, and I don't think the limits are the same on those other drinks, but they have a special martini menu where they make it on a cart by your table, and they limit you to 2.
You know what? I bet if you have enough money, you probably want to be limited to 2.
No. You are limited to 2, and there is a good reason, because they are nice, strong drinks. Good size. This thing was literally filled to the brim. I had to take a sip off of it before I could raise it.
Nice. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend on the line with me right now as we do dive into the world of movies and entertainment. The big one out this weekend is, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman. Neither one of us has seen it just yet.
Yeah.
With the asterisks, I've seen the movie on TikTok.
Which is really upsetting to me, because we agreed that we were going to talk about this on air.
Yes.
But I still remember I saw a photo on Facebook or Twitter or whatever it was, and it says no spoilers, and it shows Deadpool and Wolverine standing there, telling you to shut the up. And I remember that Marvel loved to put those sorts of things out like before the other movies, like previous movies came out back in the day. And it just reminded me how hard it is to escape that sort of thing on social media right now, especially with TikTok, and especially with people filming in the middle of the movie.
All right, so here's what I could say. I am not opposed to seeing spoilers. I think we've covered this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't mind it. It's not a huge concern for me. Usually, I have to go out and look for said spoilers. Like, I have to search them out to find them, and then I do. In the case of Deadpool and Wolverine, I did not have to search out spoilers at all. They showed up, and they showed up in, like, mass quantities. It was like Conehead level of food on the table with what I got from Deadpool.
That's exactly what I was thinking when you said mass quantities.
Which, by the way, Coneheads does not get enough credit. But anyways, I want to, before we dive into some of this, I want to know, going into this movie, what do you think it's going to be, Mike? What's your feeling?
If I'm going to go by my Deadpool version of things, I think it's going to be a pre-MCU Marvel that doesn't forget to wipe the lens every now and then to give you a fresh. But if I'm going to say in an actual normal critic voice, I think it's good. It's going to be that. It's basically that. I think it's going to be a celebration of MCU past. I think it might even get more emotional than some people may think, because I was rewatching Deadpool on the plane over, and I kind of forgot that while he is very quippy, there is that sort of beating heart story of him and Vanessa and their love, and it really is an interesting beam to walk. I don't know how finally this movie is going to walk it, but I'm very interested to see that. And of course, I can't wait to see what Hugh Jackman does back as Wolverine. I wonder if this is going to be his last time, or if he's sort of earmarking some stuff for the future. I don't know.
I can't remember if it was on one of the spoilers or one of the trailers, but there's a joke of Fox killed him and Disney came back. He's going to do this until he's 90.
That sounds like our Deadpool.
I think going into this, if you enjoyed the first 2 Deadpool movies, if you enjoy the Ryan Reynolds humor and kind of that rivalry, friendship, frenemy thing that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have had over the years, I think you're going to like this. But I think it's one of those movies you can't go into it. I don't know what the right proper term is, but you can't go in
to do the homework.
No, not even that. It's more if you're expecting like big time superhero movie of what you've seen in the past, I don't think you're going to get that here. Like, if that's your expectation, your typical MCU DC movie, I don't think that's what you're going to get with this.
And nor do I think we should, because, I mean, going back to that first Deadpool, that was part of what made it fun, was it was making fun of the big machine.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming part of the big machine. I'm wondering how much of that's going to be intact and how much of that's going to change a little bit because this has to fit into a wider universe now. I mean, I remember the stories about how they asked for special permission to use, like, a SHIELD helicarrier for the final fight in Deadpool.
Yeah. And everybody was kind of like, is that really a helicarrier or not? I think it's one of those things. If you enjoy kind of what they've done with the Deadpool movies, I think this is going to be Deadpool turned up to 11.
Which I hope so, because I remember watching Deadpool 2, and I remember liking it, but also feeling disappointed, because it felt like a sequel where it was like, okay, we really have to do this now. If we don't do this now, everybody's going to, like, forget about it. And then it was like, oh, it was okay. I think you could have taken a couple more passes at this, but I need to rewatch Deadpool 2 again before I get into Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think it was one of those things, the difference between it was they put money into it, or a little bit more, so it had a different look and a feel to it. Like, it wasn't that underdog story anymore. Like, when you go into the original Deadpool, it is the underdog, superhero movie. It's the little engine that could of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, it's like we didn't know what this was going to do. We didn't expect this to make money, but we had this intention, we had this vision, and we did it.
Yeah, so flipping over to the side of, and you don't want spoilers, right?
Yeah.
You do want them?
I don't want spoilers.
Okay. I can tell you.
Spoilers. And no, spoilers. Don't put the stuff on the internet. Stop filming during a movie.
So
the more you fucking know.
So diving over into kind of what I've seen and kind of the feeling I've got from this. One, it wasn't just a little clip here, whatever there. It was, here's the entire beginning of the movie. Here's the entire ending of the movie. Here's, every single big cameo that's in there. And I'm going to tell you right now, the level of cameos in this is astronomical. Like how they were able to keep this stuff under wraps had to be like a military level operation.
Oh, I'm sure. And on top, and just to go with that, I think that's why they gave away. Well, that's part of the reason why they probably gave away Lauda X-23's cameo, and because she was in a recent TV ad, and it's like, well, part of it, from what I hear, was that she wanted to go to the premiere, and they're like, okay, well, we'll spoil it before the movie so she can be at the premiere, because they had a feeling like, oh, if she's at the premiere, people are that's gonna spoil it. First of all, I don't think that's true, because you see so many people that have been part of other franchises at premieres for sequels or reboots, and they're not part of the movie. So I don't think that was automatically a spoiler. But also, I'm sure they did, I call it the Giuliani effect. Because you remember when Borat 2 came out, and they talked about Giuliani's whole cameo before the movie came out? I think that was to hide the fact that right at the end you had a Tom Hanks cameo out of nowhere.
Okay. Yeah,
you give away a smaller spoiler to preserve a bigger one.
And some of the ones in this, there is going to be one scene. Well, I can tell you for sure there are two in this that are so cool and so well done in a Deadpool type of way that it's amazing. Yeah,
I'm really hoping for that. I know they had the Comic-Con Hall H panel that they did last night. They not only showed the crowd the whole movie, but I think they brought some people that cameoed in the movie that we didn't know about yet to the panel.
It's really, from what I've seen, the cameos, because you could mess this up really quick and really easily, like just shoving, cameos down people's throats. In this case, the way they did it and the way that, from what I've seen, it's done really, really well. It's like the chef kiss of, wow, you figured out how to do this and you did it exactly right. It's perfect.
And I will say, I also like Sean Levy as a director and as a collaborator with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, because he did Free Guy and Real Steel with both of them.
Yeah.
And he has a real fun way about making movies like this and a really awesome work ethic. Like, I remember talking to him about Free Guy, and they were coming up with jokes left and right, and they would basically they came up with that Jeopardy joke on the fly. They send a couple people down to the Jeopardy set and film a scene for Alex Trebek in like no time at all. I like the fact that you have that sort of director working on Deadpool because he knows how to work with a huge budget, but he also doesn't seem to get tired of the fact that he's making a movie.
Yeah.
Sean Levy is like the kid in the candy store still. And that's part of what also makes it fun to talk to him. Like he's that person when you talk to him for a movie, and he's that person when you watch him make a movie.
You know, this is interesting because you have on this hand in the stuff I've seen and what I think is going to happen in this of Ryan Reynolds, you know, Sean, Hugh Jackman, Disney really taking care of their fan base in this. And especially with some of the cameos where it's like, oh, you did that just to get the reaction. Perfect. You're right.
Yeah.
It's
like it's a fine line.
But it's such, like we were talking about last week with Star Wars and the Acolyte, where it's like the attitude of, well, if you don't like this, f*** you.
Yeah.
It seems like a very different attitude on how they're taking care of their fans coming from the same overall place in Disney.
Yeah, it's like the Acolyte does something and it's like, this is supposed to be big and it's like it's supposed to be world shaking and we did this because we are true, like we're story building.
Yeah.
Versus Deadpool where it's like, we don't know if this is going to go anywhere. We didn't even know if we were going to get this person until the day on set. So like I think I've had one cameo spoiled for me, but I could be wrong. Deadpool always loves breaking that fourth wall. There is no fourth wall in Deadpool.
So
he doesn't break it. There's just no fourth wall.
There's a very funny joke about him breaking the fourth wall in one of the clips I saw.
Oh, nice.
And it's really well done.
Well, I also really like the one they threw into the cell phone PSA where it's like, nice fourth wall break back there.
So, all right. Well, I'm officially going to be going to see it on Saturday night, 9:30 at B&B Theaters, if anybody cares. I don't know when you'll be seeing it. You've got something goofy tonight, right?
I think I am going tonight. There is an event in New Jersey, an evening with Stephen Colbert and Paul Giamatti.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, they're having a big. It's one of those like they're just basically having a conversation. It's like a big interview, and I was invited to go, so I was glad to jump at the chance because I mean I love Stephen Colbert and I love Paul Giamatti. Like both of them are fantastically talented people, and I pulled up an interview clip last night just because I saw that they had spoken before, and I wanted to get sort of a tone of the room. And yeah, I sent the clip over to you, but Paul Giamatti has this wild story he told on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last year when he was promoting The Holdovers, or it may have been early this year. But he was talking about how he did a production of Hamlet, and he has this nice looking like prop knife in his belt. And then at one point during a scene, he doesn't know where it went.
Really?
And the story that he tells about the resolution to that question is wild. Like there is no, like the audience is silent afterwards because I couldn't believe it. And then of course Stephen comes in with like a fun little joke, and then the audience breaks into laughter. And then apparently I have to look up the episode, but Paul Giamatti co-hosts this podcast called Chinwag, and it sounds like he talks about a lot of paranormal and like supernatural stuff, cryptids and such, because he was saying in the interview, like, I'm tired of people not talking about Bigfoot. I'm tired of people not talking about this or this. And I like that Academy Award nominee, Paul Giamatti, veteran character actor, Paul Giamatti, shoots his shot in a podcast like this. And it is so unexpected, but I love it so much because I feel like he was such a monster kid. I feel like he was such a like universal monster sci-fi kid growing up, especially because he loved Planet of the Apes and especially because he loved doing the makeup. Like I told you that story a while back where he was like, if you cast me as a human, I'll kill you.
Yeah, it was for Star Wars or Star Trek, wasn't it? Or no, it was Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, like he is just, he's the type of guy that would have stayed up to watch whatever movie was on Saturday night on TV, and I love that about him.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend on the line with me right now as we talk about the world of movies. As we wrap up, we've got two quick stories. One, Comic-Con's going on right now, right?
Yes, it is.
San Diego.
Currently in the San Diego area.
There was a drone show, and I found the video of it. You're doing a write-up on it. It was pretty rad.
It's already done.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, it is. Folks, have you ever wanted to know what it looked like when Galactus is coming to your town to eat up your planet and wreck up the place? Your opportunity has arrived because Marvel put on a drone show last night at Comic-Con and then shared the footage online. It was a big tease for their longer show, that their big panel presentation that's going to be happening on Saturday night at Comic-Con.
Did you see the entire show?
No, I saw clips of it.
Because they've got, I found it on YouTube, and they've got like Deadpool and Wolverine fighting. They've got Wolverine holding Deadpool. They have the heart symbol they've been using of the half Deadpool, half Wolverine, like coming together. Like, this is a really impressive drone show. And truth be told, I've only ever seen one drone show, and that was a couple weeks ago. They're pretty crazy.
They are, and I'm really hoping that they repurpose this and like send it to the Disney parks.
Yeah, but
this is too good to just show off at Comic-Con and that's it.
The Galactus stuff is really cool.
And I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I'm wondering if, obviously they're teasing that they're going to talk about Fantastic Four this weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously they're going to be talking about that. But I'm wondering if, by listening to the music, it sounded like Michael Giacchino scoring.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if one of the big announcements we're going to get this weekend is he's doing the music for Fantastic Four.
Maybe they even had the Fantastic Four logo at the end of the show with fireworks coming off drones.
Which was so cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Like the Flaming Four.
It's really cool. If you get a chance, just search San Diego Comic-Con drone show and check out Mike's article over at Cinemablend about this, because it's a job well done, everybody. It's a job well done.
If Marvel was going to come back to Comic-Con, because I think the past couple of years they've leaned on the D23 event through Disney to sort of promote their stuff, and I get that. That's Disney's proprietary show. Why wouldn't you want to do that? It's the same sort of thing we've seen in the video game world where everybody does their own directs now, and nobody, like, that's E3 fell apart. But if they were going to come back to Comic-Con like they did this year, they're going to put in the money. They're going to put in the talent.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. Sorry, I was pulling up something and something caught my eye.
That's okay.
No, and what's weird about it, since they kind of pulled out of it, you haven't heard a ton about Comic-Con over the years. Like, you'll get the random story, but I don't feel like it's been an event like it has been in the past, right?
Well, there was also the past couple of years they've been trying to get back up online from the past the pandemic, or the beginning of the pandemic, I would say. And then you had last year where it was, I think the writers and actor strike was going on during Comic-Con last year. So you really didn't have appearances. I know New York Comic-Con got hit by that hardcore. And I think this was just at the start of that strike that San Diego Comic-Con happened.
As we wrap up
so
this.
It's just like you're trying to go on.
No, I thought that was the exit there. That's all.
Okay. As we're wrapping up.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, I know you didn't, man, but I'm trying to help here.
Oh, God. As we do get ready to wrap up this week, we should probably mention the Joker trailer, right?
I mean, probably.
I don't know what to make of this. I was not crazy about the first one that came out. I watched this, and it's... You know what I kind of wish it was?
What?
I wish it was the same movie, but not about the Joker. And then I don't know if it works right, but there's part of me that doesn't mind seeing a supervillain kind of come into his own and things happen, and he, where if it's done right. I think there's been a lot of failings over showing where villains come from, and I think you lose some of the mystery about them when you don't know, the facts behind their story. You take Heath Ledger's Joker, where the story of his origin keeps changing. Like, I think that helped the character. In this, like, I don't know if I mind. Like, if you took it out and it was a supervillain, and maybe it's because I don't see this Joker as a supervillain. Like, I just see him as some random dude that likes, is kind of out there. and he kind of lost his
Yeah.
mind. And this turns into him becoming a serial killer or something. I don't know if I mind that origin story, but I don't know what it is about this movie, but I don't know what I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. You've mirrored my thoughts there. I am not sure how to feel about this movie. The first one was not exactly, the first one was kind of very underwhelming to me. And then this comes up.
You know what?
Lady Gaga's the big reason I'm going through this movie, to be honest.
No, she'll be great in it. She will absolutely, like, I buy her as a weird alternate version of Harley Quinn. I think, you know what? I think this might be the thing about this Joker. I don't see, like, if there's a Batman in this universe, I don't see how this guy's a threat to him.
Yeah. It's just so weird how it plays with it because, okay, this is in the 1980s, and technically the Joker met Batman when he's a kid. And technically the Joker led to Batman's parents getting killed. Spoilers for Joker, but you've probably already seen it by now if you were interested. Like,
yeah,
I don't think this is good. I don't know if this world gets a Batman. I think it's just Joker's world. Joker is for the people. Viva la Joker bullshit. I don't know.
That is kind of an interesting concept, a universe, a Joker without a Batman.
That's the name for your third movie right there, because you know they'll want to make one if this makes money. Viva la Joker.
Viva la Joker. All right. Well, we'll end it there for this week. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend. I know you've had a busy one with the travels and whatnot. I thank you for taking the time to chat with me. And I have fun with Paul Giamatti and Stephen Colbert, and have fun with Deadpool once you see it, okay?
You have fun too, man. I mean, come on. We're like Deadpool and Wolverine over here, too. I don't know who's who, but I think that's part of the fun when you're friends with someone.
There's some of these cameos of this. I can't wait to hear what you think.
I almost feel like we may have to record a special show on Monday to dig into this.
We might be able to do that. We'll figure it out. Mike Reyes, thank you so much. Have a good rest of the weekend.
You too, man. Maximum effort.
LFG.